Guys, welcome back to the FIO podcast. It's hot as hell. Like, this intro is going to be tough for me right now. I am dying. And I'm even more hot watching Izzy with a bomber jacket. A gilet.
It's a gilet.
A what? A gilet?
A gilet.
A what?
A gilet?
Gilet?
What is it? Tell me.
Gilet.
A gilet?
No, it's not a gilet.
Gilet. Nah, whatever it is.
It's hot as hell. If you see
Some
us
Zara.
sweating, mind your business, because it is baking in here. You can see the waters, whatever. This is my favourite ever guest we have on a podcast. Before anything else, he brought us chocolates. So the next guest that comes on, no chocolates, you're not coming on. You're not coming on.
Mandatory.
You're not coming. That's different. He
Good
brought us the
etiquette.
chocolates.
Yeah.
Actually, no,
Good
sorry.
etiquette.
Moby.
Yeah, he brought.
Oh, Moby did, yeah.
He brought us alcohol.
Is it like, oh, bro?
But it's the thought that counts. That's what I'm
He
doing.
was shuffling.
I can't do nothing with the alcohol, but it's the thought that counts.
We had to return it respectfully, but
But
Moby,
he's the
love
first
for
one
that.
with the tensions. But
Yeah,
this is
we
the first one we can.
appreciate it, yeah. That's so funny.
I'm pointing like it's there. It's not there. It's in the fridge. But we do have chocolates. Guys, welcome back. Like, comment, subscribe. Help us. Get us out of this algorithm, man. I'm trying to get paid. I got a son to feed. It's been 2-3 years now. Like, help us out here, bro.
Just supposed to get paid.
Bro, I want to get paid. I can't be going from
He's in
Sheffield.
it for the money.
Okay, hold on. What else would I be in for? I'm leaving Sheffield. Sorry, man, but that's how we always start. man.
Please.
3 hours.
Yes.
I want to get paid for this. At least like fuel card or something.
I hear it.
I paid like 40-50 pounds today for fuel. It's not
Well
a
done,
joke.
bro.
Yeah, that's.
I'm gonna. You're doing it.
I think you should, bro.
1 second.
Yeah, well, I get the filing up, bro. Yeah.
He keeps it with him there.
Keep going, though.
Are you sure you want to start though?
Keep
Keep going, bro.
No. That's your right. We can walk. Are you sure you want to start?
I mean, I'm not on it, bro. I'm here for vibes.
That's all I want to
I've
hear.
always said that. I'm here
That's
for
all I
vibes.
want to hear.
Leave
That's
me
all I want to
alone.
hear. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna say it again because we said it in our last episode, and I'm wearing the same stuff, so we're doing a double recording today. I don't care anymore. We're not gonna pretend we're doing it each week. We're here for a double.
Oh, yeah. I got changed.
He got changed.
We
I
got
didn't get changed.
We got changed.
oh, we're wearing the same thing.
You put a gilet on. Is it gilet?
Are we all wearing?
Gilet,
We're
We're all blacked out.
Blacked
Blacked
out.
out.
Yeah.
I don't know where this came from, but yeah.
It's the new uniform now.
New uniform.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's done.
Cool. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Barbecue. We should have a date. There will be a date. It'll be on Instagram. Get your tickets. This one's a bit of a different one. I'm actually excited for this episode. Just to know what we're going to speak about today in terms of your story, bro. What I'm going to do is I'm going to really leave it to you to explain. Give us an introduction about who you are first and foremost.
Yeah.
And we're just going to kind of go from there anyhow, bro.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, so I'm Adam. I'm 22. I'm from West London, originally from Egypt, but born and raised in London. And this year I'm climbing the 10 peaks in the UK. I'm trying to be the first Arab of all time to do it. Climb Mount Snowdon, which is the highest mountain in Wales, in March, and I'm doing it in honor of my late brother who passed away from a heart attack last year, unfortunately, on May the 25th, 2023. And I'm raising money for the British Heart Foundation. I've raised about 5k, trying to get to 10 before the end of the year, but dedicated this whole year sort of post-uni and finishing up my masters this year. So this year is sort of just dedicated to that cause.
I love that, man.
Thank you for inviting me and
thank
sharing
you
my
for
story.
coming,
So
man.
I appreciate it. It's my first podcast as well, so I
Oh, is
appreciate
it?
that a lot. Yeah, it is, yeah.
Nah, but
We'll
the
make it
reason
nice
I-
and easy for you, bro.
Nah, it's going to be a
There's
vibe. I
a
was going
vibe
to say, the reason I was like I said, I was looking forward to it is we all have dealt with death and people passing away. Not many people go from that and then start thinking about fundraising, let alone climbing a mountain.
Yeah.
Like how did that come? How did that come in? We'll speak about dealing with death and grief and what have you. But how did you get to climbing mountains?
Yeah, I think I've always been quite a reactionary person, and before we went on live, I've always been like quite sporty. I used to sort of swim for the borough, swim for the region when I was younger. So I think,
Oh, we got another swimmer here, bro.
yes,
North African thing. North African thing. Come on.
it's in the gene. It's in the gene.
South Africans are dead.
We're just good for long distance running, bro. That's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
we'll have to lift
For
you,
Moroccans, it's the only way to get to Spain. You got to swim, bro. You got to be able to swim good.
Sink or swim.
Yeah, literally.
But yeah, no, I'd say just coming from that, I'm quite a reactionary person, and when I was kind of sort of in that hole from sort of last May and then coming into September, starting my masters, I kind of really thought, how can I sort of make the worst out of this situation, this sort of darkness I was in? And for me, I was very sort of close to my brother. We were scouts, so we used to sort of climb mountains together. We were both very active together. So I thought, how could I do things to sort of honor him, raise money for the British Heart Foundation. I know sort of heart issues are sort of really rampant in the news right now in terms of young people passing away, whether that be footballers collapsing on the pitch now as well. So
different reasons, yeah.
for me, it was how can I challenge myself sort of mentally, physically, spiritually, and also do something to sort of gather awareness and also to sort of remember his honor. And that's kind of how I sort of stumbled across mountains. And coincidentally, I was sort of going on a boys trip to Snowdon, which I did in March, but that was planned in December. And then I thought, well, if I'm doing one mountain, I may as well do like the top 10 in the UK. So I'm climbing the top 5 highest in the UK, which are in Scotland, the top 4 in England, and climb Mount Snow, which is the highest in Wales. So I think I sort of lay claim that I'm attempting to be sort of the first Arab in history to climb the 10 top mountains in the UK in a calendar year, and inshallah I'll be able to do that.
impressive.
But yeah,
That's impressive.
that's how it came about.
You
To
couldn't
answer your question,
I couldn't even do the ones in the high. Remember in the gym,
Yeah.
the little ones that they had on the walls. I can't even do that, bro.
Oh,
I wouldn't even look
I forgot
at
what they're
that.
called, and it sticks out a little bit, and you
Yeah,
climb all
it's
the way
like
to the
indoor
top.
rock
Yeah, I
climbing.
couldn't do that. I'm not part of that, man.
What I was gonna. What did you say? He tried.
He said, I wonder why.
I wonder why he
Well,
tried. He tried. I don't think Westside wants to sit with me.
Sorry.
I don't think he wanted. But
Caught
on a
that
serious note, what I was gonna ask you, bro, you said it happened last year. I didn't know when it happened because
Yep.
obviously it's the first time me and you are meeting.
Yep.
My question is, how are you, bro?
I'm good, man. Honestly, I'd say it was really good. I think that the last sort of year, sort of 14 months have been sort of very hectic with sort of, I think when you go through such a sort of predominant event, you kind of think of life pre that event and sort of post that event. And I think in terms of mourning, you talk about sort of the 3 cycles of mourning, you feel sort of the pain, the anger, kind of that unsettling feeling, and then you kind of sort of come to terms with that. So I definitely feel like I'm definitely at peace. I think sort of with our sort of culture and religion, sort of, we are sort of souls with bodies. We're not bodies with souls, and there's various things I've sort of obviously read through things like the afterlife, things like that. So I think I feel good. Don't get me wrong. It was definitely a process to sort of be here today on this podcast
easy,
and
bro.
things like that. Yeah, it's never easy, but I think the way it happened was just really quick. I was actually in Croatia when I got the call. I had a sort of one of his friends sort of just text me just saying got no words, and then just sent me a sort of a dove emoji. So I read it, felt it was quite an ominous text, and then kind of called my mum. And then sort of a family friend picked up who was a policeman, kind of sort of used to those kind of situations, told me what had happened. I flew back, and then the funeral had happened sort of 7 days after. And from them, it was just so full throttle, man. Literally just seeing, and I'd seen him 4 days before. I was sitting my final year uni exams at the time, so I was just sort of so locked in, happy to get away. And then sort of 3 days within the holiday, I get that
Was
call.
it younger or older brother?
Older brother, so sort of 10 years old. I've got older sisters, always 12 years older. But yeah, so my older brother, so
Is it
10
just
years
the 3 of
older.
you?
Yeah, 3 of us, yeah.
So you must have been close, very, very
Yeah,
close.
yeah. Especially like sort of being 22, like all the sort of predominant memories I shared kind of growing up were kind of with my siblings, and
Yeah.
like obviously like a brotherly bond
Of
is
course,
very different. Like when very sort of predominant situations that would like occur, and like
You
core
shout
memories I
him,
think
yeah.
about would always be with him.
Would
So
always be with him,
yeah. So
What
Yeah.
you said? And we can get off this as well if you're not.
no, please continue.
You said it's something about 3 cycles.
Yeah.
What can you just expand further on that? What's
I think there's like almost like a mantra philosophy on sort of the 3 stages of mourning. I think it being anger, acceptance, again I could be wrong, and then sort of coming to peace with that. And I think in the beginning you obviously feel a big sense of sort of survivor's guilt, especially when your older brother dies. So me being 10 years younger, and I think sort of gradually throughout last summer I was sort of exercising, seeing friends, like writing. I'm really into sort of reading and sort of poetry. I studied law at uni, so I was like very much like enjoy reading and stuff like that. And then I think kind of going through those stages, and I think particularly in October, when I turned 22 in October, it was kind of that shift where I was like, I could be in this hole, I could like really start to do something. And it was for me where I started almost to embrace like that beauty in the struggle. And I feel like, as humans and as sort of men in particular, you kind of have to go through sort of the darkest days and the coldest nights to kind of metamorphosize into this powerful version of yourself. And it's only through times like that you can really appreciate it. And I think retrospectively looking back now, it's like I wouldn't, as ironic as it sounds, I wouldn't change that, because that's made me the person I am today. And if that didn't happen to me, I wouldn't have been doing the mountains, and I wouldn't have been sort of messaging you to say like, I'm doing this, can I please come on the podcast? So it was more so just sort of appreciating the journey, and that's it. And for me, like my parents have always taught me to sort of live life sort of to the fullest. And for me, it's like, I don't want to, we're all going to die someday, right?
Yeah.
When the day of judgment comes, when our sort of destiny is sort of written for us. But I don't want to leave no stone unturned. I want to sort of,
You don't want to stay still. You want to keep persevering.
No, and
moving
definitely,
forward.
and I think kind of losing your brother as well, it's like you kind of want to fulfill that legacy. He was like a very popular guy in terms of West London. Had like so many, I think I've had like 115 different donors on the page already, which is crazy.
Man.
Yeah, so
and hopefully after today you'll get a few more.
yeah,
It'll be,
definitely.
we're linking that up. 100%.
Yeah,
Definitely, thank you. And yeah, so I think those were the sort of 3 cycles I went through, and I think through sort of September, October, especially on my birthday, I'm quite a reflectant person. I thought I've just got to sort of see the light sort of in the dark, and I feel like I'm starting to see that. And yeah, this kind of why I kind of ended up with this challenge this year, to kind of just push myself to the absolute limit and just document it, because why not?
It's beautiful though, and death sort of takes you to certain places where obviously it's always a shock whenever you hear. And obviously my father passed away a few while about 9-10 years ago, and I got the news through a phone call. But from that phone call, I can remember every single thing I was doing that day. That day is vivid in my mind. 10 years ago.
Definitely.
It's still vivid in my mind. The whole day, what I did that day. Ask me what I did last week, or wallahi 4 days
For breakfast.
ago. Wallahi, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't even tell you what I was doing earlier today, certain parts of my day. But that day is like a core memory. All I have to do is close my eyes and I can picture every single moment of that day. And sort of death sort of does that to you, and it keeps you in a certain area. And then, like you said, when you was going for a dark patch, mine, for me, like, I kind of locked myself away from. I didn't want to see people. I genuinely didn't want to see people, and I was bothered every time people came to the yard. But then also, I didn't want to be alone. It was such a weird.
It's a paradoxical experience, isn't it?
When people left me, in my mind, I was like, no, I kind of need people. Like, I kind of wanted just presence. I didn't want to talk to nobody, but I just wanted to feel people in and around me. I wanted warmth, like, somewhat of like a invincible hug. I kind of wanted a little hug for someone to hug me. And then at times I was like, I don't want no one here. And then when people come to the yard, it keeps reminding you of the death.
Definitely.
And obviously they're not doing enough wrong, because it's part of culture to come in and pay your respect.
But it feels overwhelming
and
as well.
And it's beautiful, but it's so overwhelming. And sometimes you leave the yard, but then when you leave the yard,
people would still be there.
People will still be there. You can't breathe. It's like you're drowning and you can't get out of this emotion of drowning. You're just like,
exactly. Especially the first month as well. I remember kind of waking up at like 9 a.m, sleeping at like 11 p.m, and people would still be there. And obviously it is very warming and you feel good, but you just feel just so drained.
It's physically, mentally, it's literally draining. I wasn't eating, I wasn't doing nothing. You couldn't get me to do anything. I was literally in my own little bubble, in my own little world. So I kind of get what you're saying to that. And also for you to come out of that and to say, you know what, I'm going to challenge myself, and I'm going to do, well, for the life of me, I couldn't. I'll be so real.
You'd be surprised.
That stuff there, I can't. I've always, in my mind, funnily enough, I've always said, the 4 of us should one time do something and just like record it. So maybe 4 of us go climb a mountain. No, not like a big mountain, but like something small fun that we can kind of record. But then wallahi, I slap myself and I say, big man, chill out, that's not you. Wallahi. And then I don't even send the message into the group chat. I'll delete it and be like, I'm not going to bother, because I wouldn't want to do it.
Let's just stick to the barbecue.
That's simple. I can come and do vibes there. Wallahi.
Definitely.
Wallahi, but I do get it. Death is something serious, and it takes you into a completely different world. And obviously, when you're being Muslim, you're always taught you're gonna die. One day you're gonna die. Everyone's gonna die. So it conditions you, but it never prepares you for it. Especially when it's like brother, sister, mother, like immediate family. Wallah, nothing in this world will ever prepare you for it.
It doesn't happen in the script that we've made in our head.
No.
Like, we have a script. 100%. We're all gonna grow old. All of us. But
You don't know.
The average is someone's gonna die, bro. Like it's going to happen, whether it's yourself or somebody else. So you're not prepared for it. But it's just the reason I like talking about death anyhow is more of a taboo subject to speak about.
Facts.
Before it happens to somebody. So obviously today we're speaking because of your brother passed away, but it's almost like we don't speak about it as a topic. Because some people don't know how to deal with it, or don't understand that you just kind of have to figure out on your own. It might be like rock climbing, for example, where not specifically rock climbing, but you're taking actions that are more proactive. For some, it just might be time. Like me, I just need time to process stuff.
Facts,
if someone passes away, so my sister and my father passed away just before I was born. After that, after my grandfather's, people that were elderly and sick, I've not had, apart from my friends that passed away, and the ones that I were close to, it was like, I just need time.
I
don't want to do anything. I just, bro, like this, I don't want to talk to no one. Like, you guys kind of already know me. I just need to be myself. So I just like talking about, so people understand it's not weird to have a different way of having to deal with it. And also, you shouldn't feel like, we all get survivor's guilt, I'm going to assume, if you had someone pass. I've had survivor's guilt where I felt like more when people's children die. So a few people now, their children have passed away recently, like last 2-3 years. Like, not even just people that I know. It might be my wife's friend or somebody. And like, I'm with my child and I just don't, I have to snap out of it.
Facts.
I feel mad guilty holding him and someone's not doing that. And that's why I was like super gassed when we were speaking on the group chat. Like, I'm like, I want to hear about like this proactiveness, because it gasses me up as well to get out of that, because we're going to keep on dealing with death. It's just it's going to we're going to have another guest that has dealt with that. It's going to keep on happening. We're going to do it.
Ending, is it?
Huh?
It's never ending.
It's never ending, bro. Like we're all going one way. It just depends on the conditions we're gonna get there in.
Facts.
You know, so we're all going to one direction and one result. How we get there and the conditions we get in there is very different. How did you link up with these charities? Charities.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
So I've been kind of in high school growing up. We'd have the British Heart Foundation come to speak to us, but for me it was just as simple as like informing them, sort of emailing them, and kind of just starting up a GoFundMe, which is quite fairly an easy process when it comes to doing it. And then it was just in terms of fundraising, just telling people what I was doing, using my Instagram quite well to sort of get out. But I think charity's always been like a fundamental part and tenet of my household. So it was always like a thing of I always wanted to give back. It was almost just figuring out what way I was going to do it and how I was going to do it as well.
You said you're active, like your family. What is it? Have you always been rock climbing previously? What were you doing?
I was swimming regionally, so when I was younger, and then when I was 15, I got a sort of sports scholarship to a private school. So I was like the first person in my family to attend private school. Yeah. And that was just through swimming, and then played football. Sort of was like the captain of the football team of my high school.
Swimming, that's big, wallah.
Yeah. I did a bit of athletics as well, and then kind of got to uni, focused on studies a bit more, and then kind of as I finished, just got a lot more into my fitness. And obviously with the mountains now, I train pretty much every day.
How do you train for a mountain?
I do like intense sort of just cardio.
I'm really intrigued to know. Like, how would you? Like football, you have like training sessions.
No, it's true. I just kind of just test my cardio, like VO2 max, like your lactate production. So like sprinting, uphill sprints, whether that be slower runs. I've started to incorporate sort of swimming as well, but just as much cardio as I can really, and just keeping my heart rate sort of as high as possible and kind of operating within that threshold. It's kind of what I've adopted. And my mum's a doctor as well, so she's quite good with sort of my nutrition plans and stuff like that. So I've got quite a good like sort of regime in terms of climbing, and then I'm climbing next Friday, so then like I start to taper off a little bit and stuff like that.
How do you do this guy?
We should join it for one, man.
I would, you wouldn't.
No, you should. I've got 9 more.
So. But he's not gonna do it 100%.
Westside, if he said he's gonna do it, he probably would. Izzy would, and you would never.
And I'm actually down.
You know.
No, you should do it.
No,
if I get the time out, I would do it. So if we've said a day, I don't mind stuff like that. This guy would not do it.
Honestly, I describe like climbing a mountain as kind of like waking up and seeing sort of your nightmare in front of you, because it literally looks like this monster that's literally about to devour you, because obviously you start at the bottom and you see the peak, which is like completely high like that, and you're just sort of looking up.
Hold on.
Let's start baby steps, please. Don't take me there.
I'm so off track. Do you climb?
No.
Hike?
There's paths. There's heights.
So you like hike?
Yeah. But there's bits where you sort of have to sort of climb as well.
Have you not seen it out there?
So it's like a hybrid.
He's got in his head, like, you know, like that film Cliffhanger.
Yeah.
That's what he's got, where you've got a rope and you're climbing. No, it's not that. It's not that, bro.
Before you said that, when you watch the episode back, you'll see me like this the whole time.
It's not
I'm
that.
so like, so you're walking.
It's a hike. It's a hike, but obviously the higher you get, the altitude changes,
exactly.
and then your
oxygen level changes.
You're battling fatigue. Obviously struggling to breathe properly.
Yeah.
That's why you have to train.
And you're carrying probably a lot of.
I'm thinking, what do you train like? Because I'm thinking you just kind of.
Probably cardio weight.
Obviously, you know.
That's why I said let's do it. You think I'm gonna fucking hook onto the something and climb it? But I love my life, wallahi. I would never do that.
Bro, we're scared of heights anyway.
I'm scared of heights as well, wallahi.
How big are these mountains? Are they like Mount Everest stuff?
No. Like I mean, the highest mountain in the UK is called Ben Nevis, so it's about 1,400 meters from ground level. So they are quite sort of monstrous. But the range I'm doing is kind of within sort of the 900 meter to 1,400 meters.
Is there one that's like 300 meters, 200 meters,
or 200?
Yeah, there's definitely something there's something like the Pinnies and kind of in the Lake District that you can do to kind of build your cardio.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, I see that on TikTok.
You want to join them?
No, I can't. I'll embarrass myself.
Yeah, you can join the Somali hike thing on TikTok.
No, I say let's us four do it, bro. Why are you adding me to a whole group?
You wouldn't do it.
Let's try, man.
I'm down. You wouldn't do it, bro.
I look like a baby. We're like, let's try, man.
I'm down. You know I'm down for anything, bro.
Okay, well, I'll organise it.
How did you not meet? That's what I want to know as well. How did you two end up meeting?
It's my guy, bro. I know everyone, bro.
Yeah.
That's also true.
We're just interconnected.
Yeah.
That's also true.
It's my peoples, bro. Are you questioning who I know? Leave me alone.
It's a podcasting question. I'm just giving questions I would like to know.
No, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to disclose that information. That's for me.
Okay. That's. No, I wasn't even trying to hit you up.
No, I'm joking. Well, we met on I was out and about in Central once.
Yeah.
I was eating in some restaurant, and then we come out, and then he was just chatting to a group of people. And wallah, I don't know how but it just.
I don't know if he was speaking Arabic or something.
I said to Afra, I said, wallah, I'm in it.
And then just turned around.
I said, "Oh, bro, you're Somali."
Yeah.
I said, "Yeah, bro, well, I'm Somali." And then we just literally started chopping it up.
Yeah, that
he
was
goes, "Bro, add me on
literally
Insta." I
true
said, "Yeah,
story.
well, add me
True
back."
story,
Yeah,
yeah.
and wallah, we chatted
Yeah.
since then.
How long we talking for years?
COVID,
Bro,
just after
yeah,
COVID.
just like
What a vibe.
2021. So
I'm
it's
like, you
3
know me,
years.
I'm a social butterfly,
Yeah,
bro.
man.
Wallah, you're everywhere.
You really are.
He's literally everywhere.
Wallah, I'm like that, bro. I like chatting to people and talking to people, bro. Apart from when they come to me and say, "Hey, you're from the pod," then I get shy. Then I'm like,
No, the worst is going
don't
anyway
talk to
with you, because you lot spend, well, actually 3 you might spend a bit more time. Like this guy, when he sees people, he has to stop for every person he stops for. You want to walk to wherever you're getting to. That's the most annoying.
yeah, but I don't want to be rude.
Nah, but sometimes you can give the Wi-Fi hello.
No, wallah,
the
that's rude,
Bluetooth.
man. I'd rather proper shake a man's hand and give him a proper greeting.
Or you can preempt and cross the road before they see you.
No, that's disrespectful. I would never do that.
Before they see you.
No, wallah, I'll never do that.
Episode doing 100.
Yeah, wallah, I would.
I've done that.
If I see them and I know them, I'm
I've
gonna
done
go and
that.
say hello, bro.
I've done
I never
that.
shy away from that. If I know you, I
I've done
always
that,
say hello.
bro. If I'm above,
It's
there's
good
times
etiquette, I
I've seen
think.
someone that I haven't seen in years. I'm gonna change the story a little bit, but I think they watch it. Bro, they came out here and they've not seen me in years, so they've jumped out. But bear in mind, I had something to do, so they've blocked my car because I'm trying to get to my estate. Yo, long time, bro. Ski, what you saying? I went, yeah. Alright, bro, something mad happened right now. I need to cut. I ran back in my car, dipped out, bro.
Yeah, that's bad, wallah.
Because I couldn't do the chit, but you know I can't do the chit chat thing for too long.
Oh, fair.
That's
you're bad
scary.
still.
I'd rather do the mountain climb stuff.
I'm with it. I'm gonna organise
Yeah, well, I
it.
can't do
Izzy,
the
get ready,
whole
bro.
the chit chat thing.
Definitely.
I'm gonna be real. These men ain't doing nothing, bro.
no,
That's why I
no,
stay
no.
silent. I'm not even gonna
I would.
entertain lies.
Izzy, you think I wouldn't if I said I would do it?
Bro, you said that 200 meters around Lake District or something around
Yeah,
that area.
I
That's
think-
like a 5-6 hour drive. You're not doing that drive alone,
I live
let
next to
alone
it.
the mountain climb.
I live next to it.
Okay, do you know what we do?
You don't.
I got one for us.
How far is it from
Sheffield.
yours?
I think it's like an hour.
Well, I got one
it?
for
Yeah.
us. I got one for us.
Is
And
this
it's
like-
local.
Where?
The one on the North Circular, bro. Let's go climb that.
North Circular?
Norfolk
No,
Hills.
North Circular, not North Circular.
A40.
He's talking about-
A40.
Norfolk
I
Hills.
know
Yeah,
it
let's
is.
go climb that.
You're talking about Norfolk Hills.
Yeah,
It's
That's
not.
what, like,
Are you taking the piss? The brother's talking about. You're talking about Norfolk Hills.
Yeah, but I'm saying let's baby steps.
That's a
This
hill.
guy is tapped. This guy is tapped.
I don't think you can't compare what
I'm
you just
trying to
said.
do baby steps, bro.
That's not even a
let me get
step
there.
or the same thing.
Okay, leave me alone, guys. I don't want to talk no more.
I can't believe you said
I'm a
that.
bully.
Norfolk. I was trying to save you. Norfolk Hills is crazy, bro.
I'm trying to do baby steps, bro. Let me start somewhere. You want me to just go up, drive 6 hours and then go climb a mountain?
No, you got to train first. You can't just go to a mountain.
Yeah.
Okay, then
You
wallahi,
actually have to
I think
train.
I may
my
pass on
toxic trait is I think I could just turn up and do it.
Yeah.
I swear to, I
I'm
actually
the
think
same.
I believe that. I think I could just turn up.
No.
Yeah.
Like, alhamdulillah, I'm quite fit. I think, yeah, it's all right. I mean, not a 500
No,
meter
of
one,
course,
but like
of
the
course.
200 one, I
Yeah.
think I could do it. Obviously, I probably can't, but in my head, I
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like
yeah.
I can.
Of course.
How long does it take?
You probably could be strong.
So I did Snowdon. I think it was about 6 hours. I think roughly about
6 hours?
Yeah,
Yeah,
6
wallah,
to
I'm
7.
not doing it. I'm
that
out.
up and down?
Wallah, I'm out.
Up and down, yeah. But then
wallah, I'm
obviously
out.
you break, like
Yeah.
you
No,
have
wallah,
your
I'm out.
lunch.
I'm out. I've checked
6
out.
more
hours.
like
I was
I've
talking
checked
for like an hour or something.
No,
bro.
it's more like being strategic with it as well. And then like you're carrying
pace
your
yourself,
food. Yeah, pace yourself. Like you carry your food and your like utilities on your back, which is probably like
My food will run out.
20k, like
What-
15 to 20
Within a
kg.
minute,
What-
Yeah.
he'd eat all the snacks.
What equipment do you actually need with you other than food?
I like carry just like hiking gear, so just like spare socks. I've got like spare shoes, like in case.
Yeah.
A lot of just change of equipment. When you get to the summit, it gets quite cold.
Yeah,
like surprisingly enough, even though even if you do it sort of in the
The
heat.
higher you get, you mean.
Yeah, exactly. With the altitude, so a lot of it's just a
Do
change
you
of
have like,
clothes. To be
spikes in your
honest.
shoes and that?
Yeah.
Do you have a
Just shoes
stick?
have spikes.
One of those,
No, I don't have sticks.
bro,
It makes it
that's
too
one of-
easy, man.
That's
I
Yeah.
just thought that looks so cool.
It does
man.
look cool. It
I
does
feel
look
like
cool.
guys
For the
are
gram.
really
It's cool
cool,
for the
even
gram.
more I don't know why. I feel like the stick means they're
Yeah.
real experience.
It's like a status symbol, isn't it?
Yeah, that's how I see it. It's like a status thing. Like, this guy's a real climber.
No, yeah.
Shall we
Maybe.
stick? You gonna come?
No, wallahi, bro. Wallahi told me 6 hours. I'm out.
Allah.
Why?
6 hours is insane for us, though.
But then again, you pace it yourself, so it's kind of like the beautiful things about mountains. Like you can sort of do it in your own way, in your own pace. And a lot of people don't even climb to the summit. Some people go halfway and come down. I feel like mountains are very symbolic. I think, to be honest, 90% of it is more of a mental battle.
Yeah, definitely.
I think
can imagine.
100% it is,
Because-
man.
Especially like when you're up in Scotland or when you're up in Wales, it's like you're just, especially me, like I'm thinking about, sometimes I'm feeling sorry for myself. I'm thinking like, why has life been so hard to me? Like you're battling with sort of your internal struggles, your internal demons. And it's something very rewarding, like reaching that summit, like looking up on it. Like I take my brother's sort of Chelsea top that he has, like I put that at the top. So for me, that's like sort of a very sort of symbolic accomplishment.
Yeah.
And I think mountains are very beautiful in that sense, in that you're not just climbing sort of this physical battle, you're climbing this mental battle in your head, and you're like bits of me telling me I can't do this. Like, why am I doing 10?
Yeah.
Like, why am I being so harsh on
That's
myself? Why can't I just chill?
incredible,
But then like bits of me just like, I have to do this. Like,
What would you say spurs you on in that moment when you're feeling sort of like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
What's those thoughts that come in your mind that pushes you on?
I think just sort of going back to like even like days like when the funeral happened, I remember my mom's like kind of like holding my hands, and I remember sort of closing my eyes and not necessarily crying or just thinking like my life just kind of just like, it was like in that moment I had like, obviously I'm the youngest in this group, but I think in that moment I was like on the quest of sort of becoming a man or becoming who I was meant to be. And I think in me I kind of always use the phrase is that like I'm just trying to be who I'm destined to be. And I think metamorphosizing into your best self, which for me involves doing these mountains, is that whilst doing this, I'm becoming not only who I want to be, I'm becoming who I need to be. Like, not just for myself,
who is that person?
For my family. I think that's just someone who shows up relentlessly and just gives his all sort of every day and is there not for only himself, but his family and those around me and setting a good examples. I've got 2 nephews and stuff like that. So I feel sort of very dedicated and very familiar.
I love it. That's why I wanted to hear it. I wanted to hear it from myself. That's why I had to interrupt. I want to hear it from myself. Like, you have this clear idea of what the best version of yourself is. Is that because you're dealing with that death, or have you always been on that journey yourself?
I think I've always been in that journey, but I definitely feel like death puts into perspective how strong as humans we actually are. And to be honest, I obviously wouldn't have been doing these mountains if that didn't happen to me. And I feel like death kind of shows you how strong you really are. And it's kind of showed me that when I'm working out or when I'm having a bad day and I feel like, I've given it 100%, sometimes I've like just given 20%. And I feel like with death, kind of going through that so suddenly as well, it was a very sudden death. My brother had no sort of heart issues or like any underlying health conditions. Like, family, alhamdulillah, everyone's sort of very healthy. And I think going through that, understanding that, and I think knowing that the best version of myself is just being the strongest version. And I think like knowing Fatah, my brother, we called him like Fred. His English friends called him Fred. Yeah. Fatah, but English friends called him Fred.
They can't pronounce it.
They can't pronounce it.
That's like what's his name from Chelsea?
Aspilicueta.
They call him Dave. They call him Dave. That is the most
the
English
Dave
thing of all time.
Yeah.
So they call him Fred, yeah?
They call him Fred, yeah. And like the title of my climbs is called like Fred Forever and stuff like that. But I think the best version of myself is just pushing myself to the limit and just relentlessly showing up like day in, day out. Yeah. And I think the whole like reason for the whole mountain thing was, and why I've been tracking it so much, and like you see my Instagram, like I write a lot of stuff about it, is to kind of show people that, as weird as it sounds, I kind of say that I'm like finding like solace in the darkness, which is kind of like a phrase I've kind of like started to trademark, in that in those darkest moments, like when you feel like you're out and down and the world's kind of shutting in on you and you know the sun feels a little bit darker, I feel like in those sort of darkest days is really when you discover yourself. And I feel like in life, like, you know, we can be having fun and, you know, like we could be going out, like celebrating people's birthdays, but I feel like the testament of our character and the essence of who we are as human beings, like our psyche, is really tested like in those hard moments. And really, truly, I think I could say that I didn't even know who I was until that moment. I didn't know who I was until I looked at myself in the mirror and said, like, I'm gonna bounce back from this. Like, I didn't know who I was until I climbed my first mountain. And I feel like that's not just of who we are as like individualists, but also the people around us, right? Like, our people are people like that we surround ourselves with. Are they our acquaintances? Like, are they our friends? Whether that be romantically, whether that be partners, friends, people from uni. And I think death it's such a, as I said, it's kind of like I kind of call it a very sort of light, dark, beautiful, harsh experience, because it kind of teaches you those lessons that I would have never learned if it wasn't through that. And I feel like it kind of shows you, and it's definitely showed me who I am and who I like truly am capable of doing.
It teaches you the hard way.
It teaches you the hard way, right? But what isn't taught the hard way, right? Exactly.
Every lesson worth having, you gotta learn the hard way. You're never given a lesson that you learned from it. It's it's all wrapped up in
easy
presents.
And I guess the weird thing is like, you know, maybe I've experienced it quite early on in my life. I was 21 at the time, but I feel like, as you said, like the inevitability of death doesn't escape us, but that doesn't make it easier to sort of comprehend and understand. And I feel like I've just been lucky, well, not lucky, I've like the cards have been given to me this way, and it's just I've just chosen to react this way, and if people can take from
the
that
best way possible.
thank you, I appreciate that. So and if people can take something from that, then That's the
No,
most
I
important
definitely,
thing for me.
I really like, but I'm in awe of that part answer there. I can't speak for the boys, but I like that. I was gonna ask you three, do you feel like you know the best version of yourselves? Or have an idea of it? Just the same way he answered it within me finishing it. Like he literally just, that's the answer. Do you feel like...
That come off the...
He caught him off guard.
Yeah, bro, like, it was like, but do you feel like you have an understanding of the best version of yourself? Or what it could look like? Or what steps you need to take?
I think the best version of myself was literally kind of echoing the same as him. Ultimately, just being the best person I am. I know, like, just wrong in the wrongs.
Right in the wrong.
Two wrongs.
Tongues.
He's wrong in his wrongs.
God damn.
As you do.
No, right in the wrongs that I, obviously from when I was young. Obviously, you know, in life you go through. There's mistakes you always make in life, innit? You never get things right in it, but you need to be able to kind of go through those, identify them, and obviously try to improve that. So
What do you mean right in the wrongs? What do you mean? What do you mean by right? If you can expand on it.
No, like obviously
I genuinely didn't get it.
No, just from when I was young,
Past
past mistakes that I made when I was younger and stuff like that.
I get
Ultimately,
you.
innit?
Yeah.
So just making sure I'm not silly. I'm an adult. I'm a father. You know, I'm just making sure that I'm the best role model ultimately, and that ultimately would be the best version of myself. Being there for my parents as well, being there for my family. Everything's different now, innit? Obviously, so there's more that's expected of me, and I need to be able to be at that level and that best version of myself to be able to be effective for them.
Do you find that difficult? All five of us, expectations as men, because we have expectations from a lot of different people, whether it's family, friends, ourselves. Do you not feel down or sad or struggle with expectations? It's a really nice pivot, actually. I was thinking about this.
Very good pivot.
I've been thinking about this recently. Wallahi, like you see a lot of people. When you see people and you think they're not doing what they're meant to be doing. Sometimes they're paralyzed because the expectations have weighed so heavy. No. So they've stunned their own growth because it's. And if I'm waffling, by all means, tell me. But like they've stunned their own growth because it's way too much, and the only way they can deal with it is by doing nothing. Do you guys, including yourself, do you guys all struggle with that? I mean, you have kids and you have parents, you have siblings, and all of us have siblings. I've got a wife and a son.
I wouldn't say I struggle with it, the expectations of.
Or do you find it hard sometimes? Maybe
I do find it hard sometimes because there is quite a lot of expectation on us. But do you know what it is? It's life, innit? You just have to you have to just get on with it ultimately. Whether it's hard or easy, the fact that it is hard means that it weighs heavy.
Yeah.
So why am I now gonna kind of pussyfoot around it and just kind of think, oh man, it's so hard, man, just being the man and just having to be a provider, having to do this, having to do that.
Ultimately, you'll go nowhere.
You're gonna go nowhere.
Yeah.
You're just gonna stay in your head and you're just gonna stay stagnant.
Yeah.
Rather, actually find solutions. What is it that I need to do? Cool. How do I go about that? Just try and make solutions.
How do they do that?
Even if I fail,
Sorry.
I'm still happy with that. But it's like I know I'm still move forward.
Yeah.
And I know I can move. I can try and do something. Do you know what I mean? So
The thing is, though, when it comes to expectations, whose expectation?
Your own.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
people usually.
I thought you were asking me.
No, but that's what I'm saying. People usually go off what they're worried about. What people expect of them. It's like, forget all that, bro. It's what you expect of yourself. That's the battle. I feel like you know, for example, if someone says to you, "Oh, would you rate yourself out of 10?" If it's not a 10, then what is who makes the rules?
You're using?
Who are you comparing yourself to, right?
Using,
Who you compare yourself to? Because you should be a 10. Because ultimately, you're not anyone else, and they're not you.
Yeah.
So you're the best version of you, right? So so when people say that, I just feel like, but people think, oh, if you say you're a 10, oh, you're being arrogant. Nah, because I'm not comparing myself to anyone.
Yeah.
Like, I'm my 10.
So you're a 10.
It doesn't.
So,
I'm my 10.
I was about to ask
my
you,
10. I am.
You beat me to
I saw you waiting as well.
But
I was waiting for
he
opening.
being my 10 doesn't mean that I'm perfect. 'Cause I don't believe perfect exists.
No,
but
facts.
I'm my 10.
Yeah.
If you're gonna ask me, is there people that I think have things that I might want? Yeah, of course, I'm human, right? I might look at someone and think, oh, I wish I was his physique or his talk, whatever, little things. But ultimately, I don't compare myself to anyone.
Yeah.
And also that also links with expectations. Is like I always strive to do the best for me, the best for my family, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's my expectations that I put on myself. I don't look at other people and be like, all right, at this age you should have had a house, you should have
That's
a
what
car.
people struggle with. That's what people struggle with.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
But
that's
the whole
social
point of
media.
it.
Social media's created that.
Yeah, and that kind
It's
of.
not just that. That's the main part, but I'll let you finish. Go on.
Do you know what I'm saying? What's that thing like? like when you're judging people based on something that's not their like. I think like Einstein when he goes, if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, then that fish will always believe it's dumb because it can't climb the tree, right?
I know,
but you're judging it based on something that it shouldn't be doing. No, but do you know what I'm saying? So it's like when you're comparing,
That's
like,
sensational.
That's sensational.
no, but do you know what I mean? So it's like, so when you're like going through life, and again, I don't have all the answers, none of us do, but I feel like when we're all going through life, just ask yourself, what do I want as a person? What do you want? And then how do I get there?
Yeah.
Don't look at the guy who's also your age that might have more than you, because ultimately Allah's blessed everyone with their own risk, innit? Their own lane. Some people are going to have more, a lot of people are going to have less, but we don't look at the people that have less as humans. We always look at, he's got two houses, we're the same age. How come I don't have two houses? And then now that is
the norm.
And also you're thinking, I'm failing.
I'm a failure.
I'm failing right now because I should be on his lane. But no, bro, it's like that's his blessings. You have different blessings. It doesn't mean
and it might not even be reality either. What they're showing you,
exactly.
like you got that thing, and I've said it years ago probably here, but I'll say it again. It's like the Chinese proverb, like when they say the face that you show, there's three faces you have, isn't it? Three masks. The face that you show the world, the face you show your family, and the face that no one sees but only you do. And a lot of us show that we're all happy, we're all good, we got money, we're lit, everyone's going to 10 different holidays. That reality that people set for you is, you see that metric, that's where they're setting. Like if I'm not reaching that, if I'm not going holidays 3 times a day like you are on TikTok, then I'm deemed a failure financially. Then to add to that, if you're not, like, there's people that we always laugh about cost of living crisis. That's like a running joke that people laugh about, but it seriously affects a lot of people. Mainly providers. So in most traditional households, the men are the providers. Obviously women working as well, but the man is seen as the provider in our ethnic households, But then they feel like they're not reaching the standards that they set themselves. So the reason I asked you is for people, is it again another taboo subject, but people have to understand and be more realistic of their own expectations. But also, you're not going to have all the answers, and you're not going to be able to please everyone.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I wanted to ask you about.
And also, it's okay not to please everyone.
Facts.
Hundo.
Like there's no shame in not pleasing everyone, because ultimately
you matter.
Yeah, bro. Like
your
heart might want to do that, and that's a beautiful quality to have. But don't feel like you've failed or you've let yourself down when you can't please everyone, because I don't think there's always going to be a situation where you can. There's always going to have to be a point in life where you're going to get to that fork in the road, and you're going to have to go be selfish and do what you want that's best for you, or please, be a people pleaser, so to speak.
I mean, this guy, you were talking about in the previous pod, I wasn't here, but you were saying the health stuff, you invest in your health.
Was that?
He was saying you invest in your health, like the injection thing or something, or you had a massage or something like that.
Massage.
Did you have a massage from someone? You paid money. You paid quite a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, invest in my health.
Yeah.
You're talking about him.
The vitamin things.
No, not the vitamin.
You did a massage or something? Chiropractor?
That guy that went to, the one that thing he went to, Gap went to. The sports
cupping.
The chiropractor.
Yeah, it's not really a chiropractor.
Was it cupping?
But it's that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, the wedge guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
the point is less of that. The point is more of like he was talking about investing in health, basically. Yeah. Brother, you have to invest in your health.
Yeah.
Like, don't break your back. As ethnics, all of us, because we come from immigrant parents, so we see our parents struggle. So we naturally believe we're not making everyone around us happy if we're not struggling and grafting our arse off. But if you don't look after your health, who's looking after you and who you going to help?
No, you have to look after yourself.
You got to be selfish to an extent. That's what I was talking about.
You, as an individual, first and foremost, have to be in the best place in life, whether that's health or whether that's mentally, to be able to help others. Ultimately, you can't help others if you're struggling financially,
neglecting yourself.
If you're neglecting yourself, if you don't have good health, you're not much use to anybody.
No pity party either. No one's gonna care.
Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
People are helping you. You are the liability. Do you know what I mean?
And some people won't help at all.
And some people won't help at all. So if you're able to, always try to be the best version of yourself, so that you can try and be better for others and be there for others ultimately. But yeah, sure. What's the best version of you?
That's a fucking great. Well done. That was very good. Now I'm still thinking, bro.
That was sensational.
That was sensational. It caught me off guard. I was in deep thought.
You know what the best version is?
Is you going to say something?
No, I wanted to ask the brother a question, but now have you got? Do you know?
No, I missed me, bro.
Yeah, no, I wanted to ask you, because obviously when you were talking earlier, it was resonating with me a lot, because similar position. I had a little sister. She passed away. Allah Rahma, August 23rd, 2006. So that's 18 years ago.
Yeah.
And I remember how I was for the first 3 to 4 years. I was never in the state that I'm looking at you now, who's, you said a year ago,
It's
right?
incredible.
Yeah, a year ago.
I was a year and a half. I was not, the person I see in front of me now, that wasn't me.
How old was you at the time, Izzy?
Huh?
How old was you at the time?
22 or 3.
So similar
age.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you now, I was literally in bits. You couldn't get me to walk to. I quit my job. Forget climbing mountains. I quit my job, bro. I didn't even want to go to work.
Yeah.
And what I wanted to ask you is, would you say that have you healed?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting when you talk about that. I don't think you necessarily ever deviate from the situation or forget about it.
Yeah.
But I think you find solace and peace in the best way you can. And I think for me, I feel like I have healed, and I feel like towards the end of the year, these mountains will kind of sort of not necessarily end, but aid, I think, my healing process in terms of just retrospectively looking back on everything and things like that.
And the only reason, and again, you can tell me to shut up, bro. I
No,
don't want to dive
please.
in, but the only reason I ask is because for me, I know how I was. Like I said, for the first 3 to 4 years, I wasn't trying to do anything.
Yeah.
Then after that, I had to force myself to keep busy.
Yeah.
But even now, like I said, 18 years later, sometimes when I talk about, I feel like I've healed. But the moment I talk about it, those emotions come flooding back, and then I don't feel. Then I ask myself, have you actually healed?
Yeah.
Because the feeling still hurt the same it did on that day. And what Sharp was saying, when you can remember everything on that day, it's exactly the same with me. I can remember everything. From the phone call I got from my brother, which is how I heard of the news. Similar to your situation, my sister was in Morocco at the time. She was abroad, so she was on holiday. I was in the UK. I missed the funeral. So literally everything you were saying, I lived it. So that's why I was silent. I was just literally going through
and
like...
I know you, when you were silent,
I was going through like, it was playing over my head that day, innit? And that's why, and the reason why, because like no one asked me if I healed. But again, this is not me trying to blame anyone. No one even, like I never had no one around me who went through it to even know. But where I've been through it, and obviously I'm listening to you, young brother, like you're going through this. That's why I want to make sure. Would you say you're just like, not even just, are you keeping yourself busy, or are you actually at a place where, you know, alhamdulillah, I've accepted what Allah's willed for your brother and for your family, and now you're trying to make the best of that situation?
Yeah, I think I've definitely healed in the sense of I've understood what was destined for me and how you can't necessarily control that situation. And I think I kind of had that realization. I remember very vividly kind of after like just telling myself that like no one really is going to save me but myself.
Definitely.
And if there's going to be someone that's going to save me, it's not going to be this version of myself. So for me to get myself out of that sort of abyss, I'd have to completely transform into someone.
Bro, I'm so happy you said that. Cause
I had to be.
100%. It took me years to get to that realization. So the fact that you've done it in a year and a half, like,
it's a testament to you, man.
100%.
Honestly, like I highly respect you for what you're doing. Inshallah, I wish you all the best for that cause. Obviously, I want everyone to get involved.
Is this the jacket?
Yeah.
Can we talk more about? Cause tell us more about
this
that.
I was going to put on the camera. So this is my school, John Line, sort of helping me sort of without the climbs.
You went to that school?
Yeah, I went to John Line. I
remember we used to play matches there. Their pictures are out.
The summer playing fields. And then
you might think I'm joking, bro. The pictures, it's carpet. It's in Harrow.
It's just in Harrow.
It's carpet.
Okay.
Yeah.
The pictures are absolute. Sorry, I'm digressing, but the pictures are carpet, bro. You'd think you're playing at the Emirates. Like I kid you, anyone that's played at John Lyon School will tell you, bro, that picture's carpet.
I'm guessing this is years ago, not recent. You're talking about like.
Yeah, but this is years ago. I don't know how
it's probably better now.
Still good now.
It's probably better.
I'm saying if it was good back then, pictures were crazy then.
Back then, pictures are horrendous.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No. So John Lyon kind of helping me out with these climbs. They're allowing me to sort of come into the school, speak about my journey, which has allowed me to sort of gain access more into fundraising, which is really good. And then this is the title, which I'm gonna have in like all my kits. So this is Fred Forever. This is John Lyon. So kind of like a collaboration between us two. And the school have allowed me to kind of come in, sort of give talks on sort of mourning, death, value, mindset, and things like that. So I've been able to sort of, weirdly enough, in this situation, like heal myself and sort of feel better, and also
heal
kind
others.
of share my sort of knowledge and kind of give back to the community. And to be honest, it does feel like sort of charity work, like speaking to sort of younger students coming into the school system, or
does it help
people
you
that are
the more you talk about it?
Yeah, I'm very much extroverted in that sense. So for me,
I loved it, bro. I've been
when you talked about like you needed time to process, I just wanted to just talk about it as much as I could. Not
people,
in that even like in a sad sense. It was just
some
like
people it's like that. Or like,
the
more you talk about it, the more it kind of
normalizes it.
It normalizes it, and then you're like, okay, you know what? It's natural. It's part of death. I feel like sometimes when you kind of block yourself away, it's
I think it's better that way. I done the.
It's not easy.
I think I cried. My auntie, I think I cried. I think I told you that I cried about that or dealt with it. 9 years later.
Yeah.
My dad, I was born 91 August, he passed away 91 March. I dealt with that maybe 2000-ish,
Yeah.
9, 10-ish. So it's different, but I'm 100%.
Yeah, and I think, as I said, I just like sort of talking about it, and I feel like the mountain stuff kind of sort of naturally sort of transformed into almost like the excessive level of talking about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not just about talking about it, it's about doing it, it's about living it, it's about sort of waking up at 6 a.m. like, after this I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna train, like training until midnight. It's almost like
seriously?
the excess. After this I'll go home and train. I tend to train in the dark as well, just
Is it to
Why is that?
prepare yourself for the climbs?
I don't know, as I said, I kind of just find solace in the dark, like being in that abyss, like in that complete mind frame. I've got like a head torch that I run on the canal, so I put my head torch on, I put my earphones on, I kind of just run in silence, really.
Wait,
Me in the dark and the light, and it's just become something like sort of very sort of therapeutic, really, which is kind of just what I've adopted since then.
No, that's, bro. Like,
That's actually sick.
we're going to put that out in descriptions anyhow.
Yeah, please
We're going to
do.
promote. We're pushing that regardless. That goes without saying. We're going to wrap up anyhow, boys.
And you can follow me on Adam Zaromba on Instagram.
Yeah,
That's
please do.
ADAMZOROMBA.
We'll get Jay, because we've got a week to put it. We'll get Jay to put that all up.
Perfect.
Put that on. Well, we know when we introduce ourselves. Put the name on. We're gonna push that. Get the clips out as well,
And
bro.
also, bro, send us the link as well for the
Yeah,
donation.
I will,
please, no,
Yeah.
send
We're-
everything.
I will,
There's
yeah.
nothing
Definitely
we
going to put that up
Yeah,
there as well.
definitely, I appreciate
inshallah,
that.
Anyone who's wants to help the brother out and give to a good cause, please do.
Please. It's important. I was gonna say, bro, you're an inspiration, because honestly, just
Definitely.
the answer that when you gave it, that's still shaking me a little bit. I'll be so. It's just, I love proactiveness, but I also love when people stand up to the for real, like they're just in front of everything.
And at 22 as well, bro.
At
Bro,
22,
yeah, like I
again,
said, bro.
with our previous episode, I don't know what I was doing at 22, 23.
Oh,
And this,
22.
Allah Mubarak, bro, you're a different type of character, bro. And may Allah bless you, may Allah guide you and help you in this, in the charity work
And
you're
may
doing
Allah
now for
bless
your
your
brother.
brother as well, bro.
May Allah, I mean.
Thank you, man.
Guys, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure, more importantly, if you don't do that, we're gonna push this
Please,
and follow
yeah.
this, share it, help us on a fundraiser. Is there actually a question I'm gonna ask you? Is there anything you would like to tell anyone watching now, whether it's based on what you've been speaking at today, or whether it's motivation, or anything you would like to tell the world if the whole world was watching today?
Yeah, just as I said, just to find solace in the dark. I think in order to sort of metamorphosize into your true self, you have to go through these times, and there is beauty in the struggle, and there is light at the end of the tunnel, even though it never sort of feels like that. And having solace in the dark and trusting yourself, trusting the universe, your religion, whatever it is that you believe in, and understand that in order for you to achieve this sort of euphoric and utopic nature of yourself, you have to go through this time, and there is no light without dark. Right, it's the mantra of yin and yang. There is no light without dark. There is no dark without light. So it would be that. And just to remember you're not alone, whether that is to speak to people, talk to your friends, and just keep active, like stay healthy, drink water, give thanks, be grateful. Make sure you tell people around you that you love them. And yeah, just find solace in the dark, and just understand that darkness can sometimes be your ally as well. So that's what I would say.
I wish I was that mature at 22. Allah.
Wait, was that at 22? We won't even end it on a funny note, because that's
What are
important.
these 22-year-olds on now? Wallah, bro, that is incredible. Wallah.
Wes, you want to wrap us up?
Bro.
Guys, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Of course, as Ev said, if you like the episode, please do like, comment, and subscribe. Also, do share the episode. But more importantly, make sure you lot donate to the link as well. Peace.
Love.